So just this past week, there was a bit of a situation that had the whole internet in a frenzy. And the minute that I got around to seeing it on my timeline on Twitter, I really couldn't believe it myself. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to assume that you're living under a rock because this topic has been covered a lot over the past week and still is. Like, there's a lot more information coming out about it. But I really wanted to talk about the situation that went down with Rampage's son, Roger Jackson, who actually got into an altercation as of recently with seemed to be a wrestler over something that was very, very chaotic. Rather, the situation that would end up unfolding would actually happen to be very, very chaotic. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys at all. When I first initially saw the first video of him cracking the beer over his head, I thought, what the hell is going on? Now, that was the first video I saw. Then the next one would be a video where Raja was on top of him, just completely going wham like he was Donkey Kong. Now, seeing these two videos play out of context for me was a bit very confusing because initially I had a whole bunch of questions that was running through my mind. At first glance of me watching it, it just didn't seem authentic to me. I'm really just playing all this out. I'm just thinking to how do we go from smacking a beer can on top of my head to me now going crazy on you in the ring to the point where you're on the brink of death. It didn't really make sense to me. And I'm not like super heavy acquainted with Rampage Jackson or his son's content to kind of like fully understand what's going on here, whether or not if it's like truly something there. Sort of like a scripted event, something that wasn't supposed to be looked at like a serious crime or anything that we should just really take away with such certainty. But thankfully, with a whole bunch of videos out there that's coming out now and everybody giving their own 2 cents on it, I had no choice but to see the context to it. And considering how this all went down to begin with, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you off the jump that Raja is in the wrong completely. I think everybody with a functioning operative brain that doesn't have CTE can understand this. I mean, look, to getting your head cracked open with a beer can, and not even really cracked open because it really didn't even look like it hurt him all that much, to doing all that, right, and not initially throwing down with the dude and then apologizing, or him apologizing to you, you accepting it, you realize that he's a wrestler, even if you didn't initially realize that, to then later on going through with trying to murder this dude while you understand that he didn't voluntarily try to attack you with ill intent because he thought you were a wrestler. He thought you were gonna sell it.
You don't sell it?
Like in the midst of what just took place, if I'm Raja, yes, I'm not trying to hear that because he just cracked me over the top of my head with a beer can. Regardless if he's a wrestler or not, you shouldn't be that stupid. Tension is building, so clearly if he's thinking, okay, if he's mistaken me for a wrestler, regardless, all logic goes out the window as soon as I feel like I'm being threatened in any way. But this isn't any normal, understandable situation where I could potentially shoot him bail for this. And to completely just do that while looking him dead in the face, shaking his hand and saying like, yeah, I understand it. Even if you felt some type of way, don't even go over there and approach him and try to willingly accept his apology, because at that point the apology ain't worth a damn. Why the hell am I wasting my breath and my time trying to apologize to you over something that I did that I recognized that was wrong because I thought you was a wrestler the whole time, but then you turn around behind my back and do what you continue to do? Like, to me, that's crazy. That's wild. Like, I'd rather you sit there and tell me to my face, yo, I don't F with you, don't come around me, period. Even if I don't know you, what you just did to me was completely out of line. I don't accept your apology. I'm done with it. And if I see you, or rather, since you see me already on the spot, go ahead and throw down with me. And for me, it wouldn't have been a big deal the fact that he's a pro fighter or not. I couldn't care about that. Like, losing isn't the end all be all in this situation, at least for Psycho Stu. And I really think what sucks about this whole thing is the fact that he gave this guy no chance. He gave him no opportunity of even defending himself right away. And I can't blame the guy. Like, he's a wrestler. Like, the whole thing was a sanctioned event. In his head, he's thinking, okay, he's gonna slam me and he's gonna probably just give me a good little shot to the chin. Not all that hurtful. But he wasn't expecting you to go 20-30 rounds on his face. Nah, not at all. Like, to me, that's just a cheap shot. That's like a really weird thing to do. Like, I just can't respect that at all. It's either you feel a way and you do something about it in the heat of the moment right then and there, or if you having second thoughts about it, let this dude know. That way he can have a fair opportunity of defending himself. Which is crazy, the fact that any of us even have to think of it that way, because that shouldn't even be a idea, a thought process like that at all. It's not a normal way for a human being to respond, let alone a grown man. Either way, you're looked at like a crazy animal. Nobody is gonna back you, especially not me. I'm not finna try to cape and say what you did was completely warranted, because it's not. You sent my man to the hospital to where we was even left in the dark, to not knowing if he was gonna be alive or not. Like, that in and of itself is insane. That's not something that we can just bypass at all. Like, it's not. And with Raja being who he is, being the son of Rampage Jackson, I can only imagine the ego that he has, knowing where he comes from and knowing who he is. And I'm definitely not saying he's a complete nobody in the field and he don't know what he's doing, because he clearly does. I believe he's a professional fighter like his father. Obviously not as decorated, considering the age gap and the rarity it takes to be that great in your field. But regardless, dude, is still a problem. We get that. But what we don't understand is the complete unreasonable flipping a switch to wanting to completely murder this man. And obviously, if I can show you, I would, but I'm just not gonna do that. But if you were to go see the video for yourself, it looks like Raja is trying to beat this man with every inch of his life. And I was seeing all over from a couple of the videos that I was watching, and from what people were saying, from the man that was in between Psycho Stu and Raja, where basically he was set to put a battery in Raja's back.
Even when we are working like that, you don't fucking, you know
That's
what
I'm saying.
You don't. He's a fucking idiot. Hey. So when you run in on his shit, you fucking give him his receipt. Remember what a receipt is? Give him that fucking receipt, bro. Tag his shit. If you got a fucking problem with it, I'll run out there.
And the many comments that I've seen from a lot of people online after watching this video was that, okay, why is this surprising? We see him completely give this idea to Raja. Even if he necessarily didn't think that Raja would go to the far extent of completely almost murdering the guy, he's still solely responsible for giving Raja the green light, so to speak. Yeah, I don't agree with that, and I think that's completely stupid. Because the main talking points were basically about Raja not understanding what a receipt is. Now, for those that don't happen to know what a receipt is in the context that is being used here, it's basically like when a wrestler, it's basically an unwritten rule, right? When like a wrestler typically delivers like a hard blow to another wrestler due to maybe a disrespectful thing that wrestler may have done to him in the ring, or maybe it's just like a payback, like I owe you one situation, and they typically drive home a message when they do it. But one thing to note very importantly is that it is something that happens and it's established between wrestling, where many of the other wrestlers understand what goes on when they do a move. They might give them a cue to do something in the ring. It's basically all like with an intended purpose of doing something to please the crowd for entertainment. It is not actual sanctioned fights like pro boxing and UFC and MMA, different types of mixed martial arts. No, it's nothing like the sorts. So him saying receipt is very evident of that. I think it is very stupid to believe that he completely understood that Raja was just gonna go out there and completely wham on the dude. No. And quite clearly in the video, when you see him talk to Raja about delivering the receipt to Psycho Stu, he would initially ask Raja if he remembered what a receipt was, with Raja shaking his head, basically confirming that he indeed does know what a receipt is, to show that this was all an intended choice of pure idiocy from one individual. And I can't stress this enough, it really just bothers me at the fact that it actually mind boggles my brain, the fact that he willingly did what he did, knowing that he apologized and this was a complete misunderstanding. Well, no, actually, I take that back, because clearly this nigga knew what the hell he was doing. That's tough. But in all seriousness, it's crazy the fact that this was really premeditated, as you would see with even moments before leading up to what would eventually happen to Psycho Stu, where he's literally just making comments and letting his chat know that he's going to indeed hurt this man.
I get the chance to go in there and now really fuck him up. It's always been my dream to fuck up a pro wrestler for real. I'm really going to hit him, I'm telling you. What should I do, chat? Should I pick him up first or hit him first? W if I should slam him first and then hit him, or L if I should hit him and then slam him. I'm shutting this fucking shit down, chat. Fuck this dude. I ain't gonna hurt him too bad though.
Cap.
There is absolutely no shred of reasoning that could have got you up to this point at all, like none. And mind I say, bro, I hate what streaming and just this whole internet has come to, especially streamers. It's like, bro, why are you asking your chat what it is that you need to do to this man? Like, upon seeing this, I'm like, ain't no way this dude over 21, right? Like, he gotta be like 20, 19. Like, it's just no way his mental capacity could be that freaking frail. And then when I Googled his age, it appears this dude is 25.
Damn.
Which is crazy to me that he's lived 25 years of life on this earth and he has no mental understanding that there is trolls. There is like literally jits in your chat that are just egging you on to do whatever. Like, they don't care. Like, bro, you gotta understand, a lot of people that are in chat don't understand what the hell is going on. A lot of people in chat will say anything to rile up their streamers, to get their streamers to do whatever, just for the sake of entertaining them. A lot of people in the chat do not care about your well-being because, well, guess what? They're random individuals that you don't know in real life. Like, some of them very well may have your best interest at heart, but you just can't trust nobody. Like, you don't know any of them to do that. Like, I don't care how long you've been around a community, how well you built your community up to this point. You have to understand, you have to have a level of understanding, especially when you're over the age of 21, that you shouldn't be this stupid to believe senseless idiots on the internet. Well, then again, you are the biggest one of them all, because you are a grown man. You don't even have the physical restraint to let go of a situation that happened a while ago for your brain. Bro, you should be off this situation completely. And I understand he's supposed to be getting in the ring and he's supposed to be doing what he got to do to Psycho Stu as a bit, but like, bro, like, dog, how do you have how are you still this frustrated of something that happened that he apologized for and you willingly shook his hand over? Honestly, from what I gotten from all this, you really might end up having CTE. I mean, come on, there's a clear distinction between having anger issues and serial killer tendencies. Because the reality of what happens if Psycho Stu doesn't survive this full-on barrage by you is possibly life in jail, and it would be deserving. And not to mention the fact that you're already being investigated by LAPD. Like, bro, it's cooked for you, my guy. Go ahead and wave that online content creator bag goodbye. Because I'm telling you this right now, no platform is going to tolerate you being on their site for at least a very, very long time. Because while your father may be able to set aside and pay for any money issues that you have in court, if Psycho Stu were to ever decide to sue you, your online presence is just down the drain at this point. And it's really sad the fact that Rampage Jackson got to be online, like dealing with a lot of trolls and dumb people throwing insults his way of being a bad father because of what his son did. Like, bro, one, he's 25 years old, and two, it's like, no matter what you do as a parent, how you parent your child and stray them into the right path and direction into what we call life, it's never a given or a guarantee that they're ever going to become a respectable human being. It's just never 100%. And can this very thing be applicable to Raja? Maybe so. But as far as what happened here, it's something that he's going to have to come to the understanding that he might have just effed himself over for the rest of his career.